Hey, what up, guys? So coming to you this morning, I want to go over the weekend, this past weekend's weekend recap. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. I got a million things on my mind right now. But the weekend recap from August 31st. You had a couple fight cards on that day. I'm going to get into the lesser one first. So kick off with the PBC card that happened later on in the evening. You had the main event, really the only fight to talk about. It was Erislandy Lara, former world champion, challenging for the vacant WBA regular title for his second time this year as he took on Canelo Alvarez's older brother, Ramon Alvarez. Well, there was some controversy the day before the fight as Alvarez, I guess there was rumors all week that he wasn't going to be on weight, and he came in and he weighed like, I think 4 or 5 pounds over the limit, so he didn't even try to make the weight. So basically he couldn't compete for the world title, but Alvarez still wanted to go forward with the fight because it's the other fighters, it's his choice after a guy misses weight if he wants to continue with the fight. And Alvarez chose to, Erislandy Lara chose to go forward with the fight against Alvarez, even though Alvarez was way overweight. So the title was only on the line for Lara, and Lara dominated Alvarez. The first round was kind of even, and then the second round, he just caught him with a left hand, dropped him in, drove him into the ropes. So it was counted as a knockdown, and then he finished him right after that, and won the vacant WBA regular title. Not too surprising that he beat, a has-been and really somebody who was never that great, even at his best, and Ramon Alvarez. But he's world champion again, so congrats to Lara, and, we'll talk about his what's next come Sunday, when the day that I do all those. All right, so the other card now. It was from the United Kingdom on ESPN Plus. We'll go to the co-feature first that saw heavyweight action. My number 8 heavyweight, former WBA champion Alexander Povetkin of Russia, as he took on Hughie Fury of the United Kingdom. This was definitely a crossroads fight between both guys. Fury only 24 years old, Povetkin 2 days away from turning 40. And, it wasn't a bad fight. It was actually a decent heavyweight fight. Fury, much taller, had the length and reach, but the guy just, this is the first time I got to see Fury really fight outside of highlights. And, the guy can box a little bit, but he's not aggressive whatsoever. He backs away. He lands 1 or 2 punches at a time. He doesn't throw combinations. And, he wasn't doing bad against Povetkin, but with the height and the reach, he should have been able to do more, and he just didn't let his hands go enough. Povetkin got on the inside, but he landed the better, harder shots. But, it was a competitive bout, but I thought he did enough to win the fight, but I did think it was somewhat close. The judges disagreed. They scored it pretty much 9 rounds to 3. All 3 of them did for Povetkin. And, for Povetkin, just shy of 40 years old, he's making his last run to try to get in line for a world title shot. So, that was a big win for him. So, congrats to Povetkin. It was almost a year off. I think it was over 11 months since his knockout loss to Anthony Joshua last year. And he bounces back with a nice win over a young top 15 to top 20 heavyweight in Fury, who's, again, he's not a bad fighter, but that's his 3rd loss in as many years now. It's all been against top 10 competition, but he just doesn't seem to put his foot on the gas pedal when he gets in the ring. He does have a good chin, though. He's went 12 rounds with Joseph Parker. Last year he went 12 rounds with Kubrat Pulev, and now he went 12 rounds with Alexander Povetkin. But, just a guy that really needs to push himself a little harder if he's going to get onto the top level. And now the main event on ESPN Plus, it was Vasily Lomachenko against Luke Campbell for the unified WBA and WBO lightweight titles, and then it was also for the vacant WBC lightweight title. And, Campbell fighting in his home country of London, England, big opportunity here to pull off the upset. And he actually boxed well early, but Lomachenko, once he kind of figured out what was going on, he started pressing the action more. He became the aggressor. He landed good hard shots, perfectly timed shots. But, you know, Campbell found a second win in the middle rounds, and he landed some good shots himself. It was a competitive bout. I really thought it was. In the 11th round, Lomachenko knocked him down. It looked like he was gonna finish him, but Campbell showed a lot of heart. He got up, he finished the round, and then he finished the fight and went to the scorecards, where I was very surprised that the judges came back with, I believe one or two judges had it 11 rounds to 1. The other judge had it 10 rounds to 2. I was shocked by those scorecards, to be honest. I thought at very best it's 9 rounds to 3, but I really thought it was like an 8 rounds to 4 type fight. Campbell, I thought, won a few rounds, and there was a lot of rounds that were very competitive, where Lomachenko was pressing the action, but Campbell was landing the better shots as Lomachenko was coming forward. So, you know, depends on how you see a fight, I guess. But I just thought Campbell was competitive, as I thought he would be. And Lomachenko, I really thought that was the toughest fight of his career right there so far. He really, outside of the loss to Orlando Salido in his second fight, I really believe since he's been at the top of his game, that was the toughest fight of his career. So either way, he won the fight. I believe he won the fight, a unanimous decision, and he now has 3 of the 4 world titles. So big time win right there. We'll get into his what's next on Sunday when we cover all those. But just a great performance by the pound-for-pound king of boxing. Also a great performance out of Luke Campbell. Nothing to hang his head about. He held it down. He fought his ass off. And I'm really impressed by Luke Campbell. That was a great performance. So, for Campbell, maybe he'll come back. I don't think he'll be back for the end of the year. I think he'll start next year. But, Campbell's big enough and he's strong enough to carry his power up to 140. I would love to see him do that. I would love to see him get back in contention at 135. So we'll just see what he does. But again, a great fight. I hope you guys weren't disappointed. And if you didn't get a chance to watch it, I'm telling you, go back and see it. And if you guys don't have ESPN Plus, you're missing out. Again, it's only $4.99 a month. There's so much more content than just boxing, but you get some of the biggest cards. The next card coming up is Tyson Fury and Otto Wallin. That's going to be a good one. So you guys are going to want to check that out. And it's only on ESPN Plus. So you guys are missing out if you're not tuned in to ESPN Plus. All right, guys, that was it. I will talk to you later. All right, True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.